I think we're live, Lou.
Yay!
How are you?
I'm
Hello,
good.
everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I'm just going to see if I put these on the screen, if they're going to cover our beautiful Lou up. I don't think they will. I think we'll keep I'll keep the comments there, so the comments will be on the screen, Lou, in the bottom, just underneath you when anybody comes in. So we've got a few people watching already. If you're watching, welcome. And if you could give us a little thumbs up and a little comment to say where you're watching from and your name, that'd be wonderful. But while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce this wonderful lady to you, and this is Lou from Create and Bloom. So this month with Relax and Craft, the subscription box, we had the amazing Lou come in and design this a gorgeous box for us. And Lou's here today with us to share with us her journey in resin and how she came about this box and everything else which is resin and EcoPore related, because Lou has lots of strings to her bow, don't you, Lou?
I love all the crafts, and I think that
Yeah.
that can be not necessarily a good thing and an expensive thing.
I'm into leather. I'm into making leather journal covers at the minute.
Oh,
And
wow.
I've just spent £400 on leather in Italy.
Oh no, the slippery slope.
But they are beautiful. I'll show you. I'll make you
Yeah,
one, and then
yeah.
you can journal together. We can do our
Yeah, that would be
journaling
so
together.
good.
I'll
Just
make.
to let you know, Fleur, I can't see comments because it is so tiny.
Oh,
There's
okay. That's
So
okay.
I'll let you ask questions or whatever. I
That's
can't see
okay.
them.
I'll just pop them up then as they come in. So Heather's
Okay.
saying hello. Francis is saying
Hello,
hello.
hello,
I
hi.
don't know if anybody's ever met Lou before. If you've come across Lou before, say hello and
Hello.
let us know where you're watching from. So hi, Lorraine. I've got lots of people saying hello.
Central Scotland I saw. Wow.
Yeah, that was Hazel, that's from Central Scotland. We've
Nice.
got our lovely Marge, and then we've got Angelina's from Liverpool.
Nice.
Angela Scott is just down the road from me. She's in Devon. So yeah, thank you ever so much for joining us, and thank you for agreeing to do the box for me, Lou, because
You're
it was
welcome.
just a dream to work with. I've
Oh,
been like you. I've been doing resin for 15 years, probably a little bit long, I don't know, but as a business selling memory jewelry I started about 13 years ago, and there was myself and a company called From the Tail who
oh
used to make
wow.
horse resin jewelry. So
I
horse,
remember.
yeah, that's all we used to do. And I never used to advertise it, and I used to be sending out orders all the time, and it was just
Wow.
got me thinking, this resin malarkey is amazing. And back then there was only one company really that was doing resin, and it was the 2-to-1 resin, so you had to weigh it all out and everything else. And since then the resin world has been revolutionized, hasn't it?
It
So
has, it
Lou,
has.
can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into resin, and sort of like how you've become Create and Bloom?
I can. Oh gosh, I feel like this is years and years ago now. So I was an art therapist in the NHS. Well, I started off in occupational therapy, but I always had a creative head, and I didn't have a traditional upbringing, if you like. My mum, it sounds tragic, it is not. Sadly, my mum was killed when I was 5. My dad brought me up, but he was very, very disabled. He had a horrendous stroke, and art therapy was very much what kept me and my dad going during troubled times. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that one day. And I never really went to school because I had to stay at home and look after my dad. And when my dad went into care, I was 16. I took the house on and I decided I was going to go to school, get GCSEs and become an art therapist and do all of that. So I did 18 years in the NHS, and pouring mediums such as acrylic pouring, resin pouring, things like that were basically my kind of creativity that I used with my patients that were poorly. and it's kind of blossomed from there. I did a little bit of watercolor painting as well, which is another passion of mine, but mostly back then it was smelly, horrible, toxic resins, not very nice resins. And then I had lots of opportunities to work with other resin companies. I've had chances to work and develop resins.
Mhm.
And as the NHS changed, I decided that actually I don't think it's for me anymore. I wasn't seeing as many patients. I wasn't seeing
Mhm.
as many people, and I was on a computer quite a lot. So I thought,
Mm.
I'm going to just come out and do it myself. So I
Yeah.
set up in the community, and I had many workshops all week long, lots of workshops. And then the resin world, just social media helped, lockdown helped, and I kind of worked with other resin companies. And then I decided a few years ago that I was going to have a rebrand and actually go really seriously all out and bring out resin things that I wanted, because there
Yeah.
was a little bit of there was things missing in the resin world that I felt
Yeah.
like I wanted. And so that's where Create and Bloom came from. It had a little bit of a rebrand a couple of years ago now. And yeah, it's been amazing. And I've met all these lovely people and make lots of craft kits, do lots of design work for other small businesses, and super grateful to be where I am. So that's, and we knew each
And
other
it's
from
we've
old.
yeah, we've known each other for quite a few years now.
Yeah,
And like you say, it's, I think with the resin world, I think when it first started, resin jewelry, it was a little bit like polymer clay jewelry, as in some people used it as kind of like I hate the word, like a childish kind of way. Like it was just like quite garish and quite, it was like it had a few primary colours, and then like I say, this horrible smelly resin that you needed a gas mask on and all the windows open and everything else, and then prayed to God that you got your calculations right for it to
yeah,
cure. And then all of a sudden it started to go, and people became more like artistic with it, and it started to become a really beautiful, something that you just didn't pour into a mold and like just set. You could then start to do all these amazing techniques. And I
yeah.
think I can remember seeing your techniques and seeing and thinking, wow, look at that, that's absolutely, that doesn't even look like resin. It looks like it's been sort of like made out of pottery, or it's been made out of something else, and all the colors came out. And I know that you are really passionate about like keeping things in house, so you make all your own pigments and you make all your own glitters and have all these beautiful colorways that you can go, because before it was just like chunky bits of glitter that used to sink, and now you've got all these amazing different things that you can add into
Mm.
resin. Can you just talk to us a little bit more about when you say about your the pouring of the resin and that kind of thing, your acrylic pours and things like that? I know that you do quite a few workshops now where you have you got like the Windrush kit and that kind of the kits where you can make 3D pieces and pieces of art. So resin's not just jewelry, is it?
No, that's right. So I suppose the wonderful world of resin is you're not restricted, that anything is possible really. You can
Yeah.
sculpt with it, you can pour with it, you can make beautiful artworks, and I can show you some artworks and some
Mm.
kits in a bit. My passion is colour. I have personality colour synesthesia. I don't know if you've heard of that. So I have an
No.
exceptional eye for colour. I'm very good with
Right.
colour, and I
Yeah.
use it to my advantage. And many creatives have some sort of synesthesia that they probably don't realize they've got it. But it's a fascinating thing, and I can talk hours and hours on it.
Mm.
I know Beethoven, the music composer,
Yeah.
classical composer, he could taste his music that he wrote. So it's when the senses in your brain cross over.
Ah,
And
right.
so there's loads of different types of synesthesia, but because mine's particularly based around colour,
Mm.
um, I feel like I had a little bit of a head start with colour. And so
Yeah.
that's probably why a lot of my workshops and products are colourful.
Yeah.
Um, and also, colour just brings us joy. And
It does.
we can all
Yes.
relate to colours and
Yeah,
seasons and products and businesses. Everything has colour, doesn't it?
it does.
Most things are shaped with colour, and I
Yeah.
just love that. It's fascinating. Colour can depict our mood, how we feel, and it's just an important thing for me to work with every day. So a lot of my art kits are quite colourful. We've got seaside kits, we've got ocean kits, we've got all sorts of workshops that happen, and yeah, I can
So,
definitely show you more.
so you a couple of years ago rebranded Create and Bloom and then started making your own kits. And can I just say that Lou's kits, if you've got the box, you'll know the most beautifully packaged kits ever, and the thought and the attention to detail with not only the packaging but the reusable packaging, which is something that I love because I want to make things with reusable packaging, and the sort of like
Thank
the
you.
ethos of being quite eco behind it all as well. That is just absolutely beautiful. And if you've not seen the box, I mean,
Okay.
this is just the outside box, but it comes with the most beautiful sort of like little belly band, and then on the back, if that's not enough, I hope you've seen this, you've got the resin tips as well that's on there as well, and then you've got all your details and all your information in here, which I'm not going to show because that's gives the game away. But when we started talking about doing a collaboration, you said, well, the kits are on the website, have a look. So I was like, right, I'm going to have a look. And you sent me this Enchanted Woodland one, and I was just blown away by the quality of everything that's in there, and B, the amount of stuff that's in there and the amount of places that you can make. How do you go about designing your boxes? Is it something that you just think, I want to make that, or do you have a set plan on your designing?
So, having done art therapy for many years, sitting down and having an hour to yourself to craft is rare, isn't it, in a chaotic, busy world, unless you force yourself to sit down. But so it was really important for me to also create an unboxing experience to get people excited into a craft that they perhaps don't really know much about. If you're buying a starter kit from me, it's probably often people who are new to the craft. So I wanted to kind of capture that excitement right from the start. And so that's where the packaging comes from. The design work, I probably do that about 3 a.m. in the morning from my bed. When I can't switch off and I have an idea pop in my head, if I don't execute that idea immediately, it will be gone. And I get my ideas often from my children because they have a different set of eyes. And
Yeah.
so when my children look at things, they see things differently from us who have been programmed with design packages, Photoshop, Illustrator, craft. But when my children are around, they're like, well, why don't you do it like this, Mum? And so I get a lot of inspiration from the children. Sometimes they'll say to me, have you ever thought about doing this, Mum? Molly's just done a craft kit, which has just come back from the printers today. So she's decided that she said to me, there's no kits for children, Mum. That's really unfair. And so I was like, right, we need to do something about that. So Molly's designed an EcoPore kit because, of course, EcoPore is safe for children to use, which is a different type of resin. But my ideas come mostly from the seasons and inspiration, really, often what I want to make, and then I just roll with it and try and bring it to everybody else. I can't remember what the other part of your question was.
It was to do with the sort of like the eco ethos that you have as well.
Yeah,
like
so
your packaging and everything else. I mean, you said to me when I picked up the kits, I've changed this packaging to this because it's it's more eco-friendly.
So eco-friendly starts from the packaging, but also goes right through to the resin. So as a small business, packaging is super expensive, and it can be detrimental to how a business rolls, but also it's how people remember you. And unfortunately, the craft I'm in can sometimes have a bad rep for waste on the planet. So anything I can do around that to be mindful of waste is super important for me, but our future generations. And so I have this contract with a boxing company in Denmark. And basically, if I can wait, I negotiate with them. If I can wait and have a slightly smaller or change to the box, it becomes more eco-friendly because they're recycling. We have these negotiations in. Basically, if I can wait a little bit, I can have more recycled packaging. So I have that with them, and also the resins as well. So the resins that Apex use, they are a byproduct of the oil industry. So they take all the dirty oil and they make their hardeners from it. So even the products themselves and the packaging are recyclable. I have contacts not too far, another small business who helps me do the printing of the covers of the boxes. And I can actually go and visit them and watch them at work and watch them print. And they always reassure me that they're using recyclable papers and cards.
Yeah.
I refuse to buy outside of Europe because, I mean, there are times when I have to go outside of Europe because we just don't have some things. But small businesses are taking such a massive hit here in the UK because, without getting too political, other bigger places abroad and outside of EU taking over, and it's so sad to see such talented artisans and crafters and makers having to shut up shop because either their ideas are stolen, they can't compete with the costs and stuff. So packaging and those little things that people get to know me for kind of builds a bigger picture, and people really appreciate it and they can relate to all the hard work. And I think honesty with your customers, and I'm very active on social media, and I'll ask people for what they want, as I've been doing all today with the advent calendars. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's caused chaos. It's caused chaos.
I did an advent calendar 3 years ago and it was amazing, but oh my goodness, they're hard work. They are such hard work. I don't envy you getting that ready.
It's gone, it's done, so it's nearly there now. It's in the making.
Fantastic. So you tend to go live on a Friday evening, don't you, on your Instagram account? So you're quite prevalent on Instagram, TikTok, but you usually sort of like do a really lovely live on a Friday where you're either making or you're getting your glitters ready or something like that. And you've got a really lovely group of people. And so if resin's something that you've never started before, or you've just got this box and it's the first time, and on the group, Lou, I've got to tell you before, there's some people that have never done resin before and they're seeing their pictures coming up now and their pieces are divine. And the best thing about resin and this box is I could give my subscribers a chainmail box and they're all going to look the same. But with this box, they're all completely different because people can use things. So can we just quickly talk about the things that come in the box? So
I've got mine here. I've made some as well.
Can we talk about the actual flora and fauna that you've put into these boxes and how special it is?
It's so special. When I started making these kits, I had these great ideas that we were going to add, because most of the stuff that's made here at Bloom Studios is made with my children around me. They're by my side. It's just me and my 2 daughters, no other family. And we are very much crafting all the way through our days. And I always set off starting the business like, we're going to forage and source all the materials. We're going to make everything ourselves. It's got to be like this, this and this. As it's grown, that's really hard to keep up. But interestingly, the craft kits, the flowers, the fauna, all the dried precious petals are foraged by us on our walks. There's a couple of exceptions. Your pepperweed and your delphinium petals were not, but all the rest were foraged and sourced in the Cotswolds. And we get bags of it on our walks, particularly in autumn. And then we dry it all out in the racks behind us in the silica. And the children make up fairy tin. They call them the fairy tins, fairy woodland tins, which is why it's called Enchanted Woodland.
So your whole family has had an input into our beautiful kits.
Well, my daughters have made those. I didn't have a set. I've checked. We've quality controlled them, but the children have packed and they put the gold leaf in, and we do it of a night time, and it's How
That's
long we'll be doing
amazing.
that for, I don't know, because
Well, that's it, isn't it? Because as we
yeah,
get bigger and bigger, but that's so special that these have been packed like that.
yeah.
If somebody had, say, flowers that they wanted to add in, so obviously, I don't know if Katie Parker's here at the minute, but Katie, when I did the last resin box with yourself, which was 2 years ago in a different guise, Katie Parker, who's one of my inspiration designers, got absolutely obsessed and bought thousands of pounds worth of resin and
Oh, well,
makes all sorts of beautiful things with
wow.
resin now. And I know that people have gone, I've had lots of people saying, oh, I've got some beautiful flowers in the garden and I've got this. Can you just quickly say what products you have? Because I know you've got a product that can help people dry their flowers, because there's a
Yeah,
couple of
I'll
different
grab it.
ways to dry their flowers, isn't there? So yeah, I'll let
I'll
you
grab
just go
it.
and yeah,
We've got the shop
perfect.
here, so I'll just grab
I
it.
was going to say, Lou's got her own shop within her studio as well. So if you go, and we'll talk about workshops that Lou's got coming up later, but you can shop till you drop as well when you're there, which is just fabulous. So
They
this product is going to help you, isn't it, Lou?
So it probably looks back to front on the screen, but
That's
it's
okay.
called Blooming Silica, and it's reusable. This silica is reusable, and this is what we've used to dry some of your precious flowers in your kit. So it's toxic, so you should wear a respirator when handling with it, because of course silica is
Yeah.
just toxic.
Yeah.
But if you're working in a ventilated space, it's quite safe. Put a lid on it when you're drying it out. But you can dry your flowers from about 7 to 10 days, and they're good for all sorts of crafts, really. Resin and moisture don't get on. So if your flowers are freshly picked and going into resin, they, of course, will turn brown over time.
Yeah.
So we always try and dry our flowers first. Sometimes people will press their flowers in a press, or they'll cook them. If you're wanting a really in-depth lesson on how to prepare flowers for resin, over on the resin website, the Apex Resin website, there's a Instagram workshop that you can book, which is
Okay.
about £30, I think it is.
Yeah.
And I've got videos on Instagram which you can watch. It's a secure page. Nobody else gets in there
Yeah.
unless they've brought the workshop. But
Yeah.
I take you through drying flowers in the oven, hanging upside down, silica, pressing, lots of ideas for drying flowers,
Yeah.
because it's just such a joy capturing
It
special
is. Well,
moments with
and it's,
flowers.
like you say, with special memories as well. Maybe it's wedding flowers, or maybe it's like we've just had a new baby in our family, and my niece has just had a baby, and I sent her some flowers, and I said, let me have some of the flowers back, and I'll dry them, and then we'll make something for the
Oh,
little
it's
baby.
nice,
That
isn't it?
kind
It's
of,
a
and
story.
it's encapsulating memories. And what I love about the silica is that your flowers will stay 3D as well. So if you want to make
Mm-hmm,
a bigger piece, which is like a deeper piece with the actual, if
mm-hmm.
you've got a beautiful rose or something like that, you can
I've
keep it
got.
nice
Do you want to see
with
some?
yes, please.
I'll go and get them.
Oh, wait, see, Lou's going to be like absolutely tempting us now to go and start drying our flowers, because it's like Lou said, you cannot put anything in resin that's got any moisture in it. It has to be completely dry. And one of the lovely subscribers actually put some gorgeous coffee beans in some resin, and put some coffee beans in her resin with some red background, we get the spice background, and it looked gorgeous. So this is this some of your beautiful flowers that you've
Yeah, so these aren't my flowers. Often people that live nearby run into the studio with emergency flowers. Lou, I I don't take commissions anymore because I'm just so busy. But
yeah,
the people in the village, they take advantage. I won't go too delving too deep because I haven't got a
no,
respirator on.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you fully submerge your flowers in your
yeah.
silica, and then you can very carefully take them out. I mean, Gypsophila looks like that anyway, but it's super dry.
That's
And
amazing.
let's see if we've got. She brought these flowers to me dead. I'm not going to lie. I think I might go and get another tray because those are the dead ones.
So I mean, what other things? Oh, Lou's just gone out of this shot actually. I was going to say other things that you can put into your resin. Things that I've put into resin is when we talked about like memories, so animal hair, that kind of thing. And again, just make sure it's nice and clean, and sort of like dry. Nothing that's dirty needs to go in. So you need to make sure that all your silica is out of these beautiful flowers before you put them in. But look at that. That is preserved in time.
Oh.
That is just beautiful, isn't it?
And they feel like tissue paper. You can hear them crunching when they're ready. So.
And so if you wanted to, you could take a petal off and break a petal up. And so if a petal comes off, don't waste it. Break it up, pop it in your little tin.
The punches that you can punch paper with, like shapes, love hearts and stuff, different shape punches. You can do that with your petals. It's very, very beautiful. This is a bridal bouquet. Most often, people bring me their flowers when they're past their best, and that's really tricky to manage. So make sure that you ask people to get the flowers to you as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And like I say, you know, if you go to Apex Resin's website and look for Lou's workshop from there, then obviously that's the best way, because it's all there in depth for you. And you're not going to try and, you don't want trial and error with somebody's precious memories.
No. And if you use code Lou, you'll get 15% off as well over on their website.
Perfect.
So
that's fantastic.
And if they haven't got resin, I've got the resin, so I stock their resin as well. And I'm going to get rid of these. I'm just going to move them because it is silica and I don't want to breathe over them.
No, you don't want to be breathing that in. And then I'm going to make you get up again in a minute, because I want to see all those gorgeous colours that are behind you. So I'll just wait for Lou to come back. Oh, let's have a look. What does Lorraine says, my mother-in-law has asked to make something with her husband's ashes. I'm a bit nervous about it. Don't be nervous about it. It's absolutely fine. It's what I always think, because I've done a lot of work with ashes, and it is, although it's a sad thing to do, what I always say to myself is I'm giving somebody back a memory that they couldn't have before. You know, so it's encapsulating that person and keeping it with them all the time. If you want to message me, Lorraine, like I say, I've done lots of work with ashes. I can sort of like give you a few pointers of what you need to do and how to do it, that kind of thing. So that's not a problem at all. But it's just a wonderful way of encapsulating that memory forever. Now with resin, you don't really want to keep it in the sunlight, do you, Lou? Although this one has got like a UV protectant, isn't it, in it, but it will still start to yellow over time if it's left out. Is that still correct for this one?
No.
Oh, is this one all right? Oh, fantastic.
So the reason that resins go yellow is because of what people are putting into them. So it's the chemicals. So at the time of making, if you're putting really strong things in them, like alcohol inks, solvents, some people do crazy things with resin. They even put bleach in, don't ask. But you're upsetting the UV stabilizers at the time of making. So the good practice for the first 7 days is to keep them in relatively out of sunlight, UV light, well, because they continue to cure even though they feel hard to the touch, the chemicals are still stabilizing. So they shouldn't be going yellow. Apex resin shouldn't be, unless you've had an exotherm. So an exotherm is basically your resin gets quite hot when it's curing. Now you'll not notice that when you're mixing this size, but if you were doing big bits, you might feel the warmth. It won't catch fire. But if it's overheating, then you're damaging the UV stabilizers, and that will eventually cause it to go yellow. But of course, when you're adding colours to it, you'd never notice anyway.
No, you wouldn't know. I remember years ago, like I said, when I first started, I got a big heart mould, and I remember mixing all this resin, and like you say, it going really hot, and I was thinking, oh my god, and I poured it in, and I got rid of it, but it's gone quite yellow, and that was before you could get like deep cast resins and that kind of thing.
Oh, so that's why.
Layers, and then obviously each layer, then you can see the layers through it.
No.
So Apex do have that fabulous deep cast resin, don't they, where you can make deeper pours. So there's lots of different resins out there, but the one that Lou's giving you in this box is the most beginner friendly and easy use, isn't it, really? Because it's fabulous resin. You can even get, I don't know if you've seen what I did, Lou, but I gave my little flowers a bit of a dome top.
They
so
look
I used
lovely.
like a dome in resin as well. So this one I mixed I put a little tiny bit of the
Beautiful.
twilight, sorry, into the gold mica, so I got like a really
So nice.
darker one. And then this is what I made. So this was one of the extra little projects that I did with leftover resins. So I
Oh,
love to make
wow.
little pearls with them, and then suspend the pearls into one of the pieces.
Oh, I
And
love
then
them.
the other thing that I did is, my favorite thing is color swirls. Let me see if it'll
Oh, I love them.
focus on that. So that's one of the color swirls, and then this one is another one. So just
Oh, I love them.
swirling them through, and I always let my resin start to cure when I'm doing that kind of technique, so then it holds, the micas hold in the suspension of the resin, and wherever you drag it, it actually stays where it is. So it's really lovely. But can you, talking of these gorgeous micas, what else can we put in resin that you have that you can show us?
Mhm.
Things like glitters, and can we colour resin? Do we have to put nail varnish in it? Do we have to put a Sharpie pen? I've heard all sorts over the years. Oh, just pour nail varnish in it. No, don't. Oh, just put a Sharpie pen in it and it'll colour it. No, because when you've got somebody like the wonderful Lou, who's actually tested all of her alcohols and her acrylics and her micas for resin, then we got a beautiful array of colours. And this is what I was so impressed with when I came to your studio. All these colours and the names, and they're just gorgeous, and I want them all. So can you
Oh,
just talk to us a little bit about the what we can put in resin?
okay,
Like,
for sure. So, obviously, when you're starting a new craft, the best thing is to try and keep costs down. It's really hard to not go full pout and buy so many new things for your craft. But if you've got pigments like mica powder, if you're a card maker, you no doubt have got mica powder. Maybe you wear makeup and you've got broken eyeshadow palettes
yeah,
at home, you could definitely use that to colour your resin. But I wouldn't be putting strange things in resin unless it's specifically tested. So alcohol ink is absolutely fine. Just remember that it is a solvent and it isn't light fast. So although resin will get the blame, alcohol ink may fade or change colour over time. I've got bloom drops behind me that go in resin. They tend to be used in the cup world when they make cups on a turner.
oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
they tend to be used for that. But other than that, there's beautiful pigments you can get from my shop. You'll want to make sure that they're light fast, so they're not going to fade over time, because there's no point making a piece of art that in a couple of years' time has changed colour. So confidently, I can promise you my pigments won't change colour. They score number 8 on the blue wool scale. If you know how colour is measured, it's measured by a scale called the blue wool scale, and it was just exactly that. That's how they measured the colour for yarn and stuff like that, and it's been used across all the crafts. But number 8 is phenomenally high, and it won't change colour. Even if it was presented under 10 years of UV light, they won't change colour.
really, wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So
I'm just trying to find, I made a there we go. So I'm just putting a banner across the bottom. So this is Lou's website, and
oh, thank you.
all your items are on the website, aren't they?
They
Um,
are.
so if somebody is a little bit tentative about making resin, and I know people that are like this with all crafts, and they don't want to. Some people, I think people fall into two things: they're either gung ho like me and go, "I'm going to buy everything, and I'm just going to chuck it all in
Yeah.
and see what happens and learn from my mistakes," or other people say, "No, I need a workshop. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to ruin my beautiful things." What about workshops, Lou? Do you do workshops?
Yeah, so workshops are super popular. So we do Zoom workshops, although they are reduced at the moment. As we run up to Christmas, I'll be releasing some more workshops.
Yeah.
I tend to do a lot of making on 8 o'clock every Friday on Instagram, where people can ask lots of questions and watch me at work. I pop up live on TikTok quite a lot. I'll be on TikTok tomorrow making the cottage garden kit. And most often or not, the biggest type of workshop I do is usually one-to-one or a couple of friends. They book the day here with me where they want to do a bit of everything. They want to do jewelry, but they also want to make a beach piece. They can have unlimited access to the resins and make as much as they possibly can.
Wow.
And that starts at £40 an hour.
That's
and often,
amazing.
yeah, and I'll post them their bits. Once they've cured, they'll get them back in the post. So that's a great way, because actually when you're new to the craft, you want to try it all. You don't really know which is your cup of tea at that point.
Yeah.
And so I often get a couple of people like that each week coming to just use it all. And it's so lovely because I'll make with them and we'll just chuck it all on. We'll experiment with colour. I mean, there's so many glitters, there's so many mica powder, there's just so much stuff here.
Yeah.
It's nice to play with it before you decide which kind of road you're going down, you know?
Yeah, and if nobody knows, Lou's in the Cotswolds, and it's the most magical little place just down the road. So you could even make like a weekend of it, or like go to Lou on a Thursday and then stay Thursday night and go sightseeing on the Friday or something like that. Yeah. You could have a lovely time.
It is lovely.
Jill's just got a question, Lou.
Okay.
Can this resin take heat, as in for coasters?
Absolutely. This resin can take heat up to 120 degrees Celsius, so ample heat from a cup, even a bone china mug. They can, yeah, absolutely. They're designed to be made for coasters. It's a resin that is for shallow pours, so you wouldn't make a paperweight with this resin because it's incredibly bubbly. But when it's a shallow pour, we can pop the bubbles with a heat gun or a torch and they'll pop. Don't be scared about bubbles. Everybody panics and panics. If you heat your resin up in boiled water from the kettle in the bottle with the lid on, so no water gets in, you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Lorraine's asking that she's got paint for glass painting. Can this be used to tint resin?
You can do, but they could alter or change colour. Are they UV tolerant? Are they light stable? I'd be looking on the packaging to make sure that they are.
Helen's asking, can you mix use of micas and pigments?
So typically we would say no, you can't, but there are a select few special micas known as interference powders that can be mixed with pigment. And what we mean about that, so your shell pigment that you had in your kit is known as an interference pigment. That's the gold. And you can sprinkle that on some of my opaque pigments and it will give a gold sheen on any colour. So if you've got red and you put that gold interference in with the red, it would give it a golden lustre on the red. So interference mica powders you can, but all the others, no, they'd get lost.
Jill's saying that she'd love to do a beach one. Have you got a beach
I've got
that you can show us?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of work come through this week for John Lewis, which is very exciting.
That's amazing.
And they've asked me to make lots of beach pieces, so you're in luck. So we've got, this is the Beside the Sea kit, and this is what we look for, is the lace.
The lacing.
Can you see that?
And you don't need like very many specialist tools. Do you still use a heat gun to create your lace?
A heat gun, but the cheapest one possible is better. So they're called embossing craft guns on Amazon, and they're about £10, and that's what we use. I was doing that on TikTok this morning, and I might be doing that a little bit tomorrow on TikTok if anybody uses that platform.
And so, but you've got this as a kit, haven't you? This is available for a kit.
Yeah, this is the Beside the Seaside kit, and you make 3 pieces of art. You make 2 smaller ones and a big one.
That's amazing. Can you say the rough price of the kit for us?
Yeah, they're £38 for the 3 pieces of artwork. So they're great to make with a friend. If there's 2 of you, one person can make the smaller ones and one person can make the big ones. That's quite a nice way of doing it. They're very popular as gifts as well. So very exciting. And then there's also a pink version of this called,
I saw the pink one, and I was like, I'm going to get the pink one. I'm going to get the pink one because the pink one is beautiful. It's got the most like dreamy pinks in it. But look at the beautiful packaging. If you want to get Christmas presents, I'm talking Christmas, but that, because everything, as you know from the box that you've just got, everything's in there. And the only things that you need to add, a bit like a Relax and Craft kit, is household things. You don't need to add anything else. So you can get a barbecue lighter for a couple of pounds, a pound from the pound shop sometimes. You know, you've got your kitchen roll, which some people have, or wet wipes, that kind of thing. These boxes are absolutely value for money. Have you got the orb one there, Lou? Because that's my other favorite. That was the one that I was tempted with, rather than the
Which
orb,
one?
you know, the beautiful orbs.
Yeah.
Look at that, the Secret Garden. Now this has got a really beautiful mold in there, and again you can create these stunning little orb pendants, but they didn't have to be pendants. They could be sort of like, I'm thinking now for charms as well, for my journal covers, Lou.
That's a good idea.
I want an orb for well, I'm going to put one of these on my journal. So the other thing that I did, Lou, which I didn't show you, is with the tourmaline chips that I put in, I made the rainbow. Let me just see if it's going to fit. There you go. So I made rainbow pieces with them as well. Let me get that one. So I did rainbow tourmaline in the resin.
I love them.
And if you're going to be putting gemstones into resin, please wash them first. And if you've got gemstones with holes in them, just be careful, because bubbles get stuck in them. So these ones don't have holes in them. So they are just chips. So they don't. And what you can do if you're a little bit nervous is you can put the resin chips into resin first to coat them, and then put them in. So there's two different ways of sort of like using gemstones in there. But you could put the gemstones in the orb kit as well, which would look amazing.
Oh wow, absolutely. This is the floral trinkets, which I've been making today, and it's often the second kit that people buy after a resin jewelry kit. So it's when you want to work a bit bigger, and this is where I've been making these ones today. So
oh, can you imagine that with your resin earrings in it as well?
And you make 3 in this kit.
Oh my goodness. And again, roughly the same price or a little bit more for this one?
I can't remember. They're all around the same price. The decoupage kit is £10 cheaper, I believe.
I mean, that as a gift is just absolutely beautiful.
So there's enough products in there to make 3, but your mold, of course, you can use several times over. So, and if you ever run out and you want more, then you can buy bits and bobs separately. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you can dry your own flowers with your blooming silica, and then you can get some more resin from either yourself or from Apex, and use your code, and you can then carry on making. So this could be the start of, I mean, when I first started with resin, I literally bought, I think it was like I think it must have been from Create and Craft. It must have been Create, because that was one of the only ones that was around then, and that's when I started. Oh, what's that one? I missed that one.
This is the Pink Moon. So this is a jewelry one, and it's absolutely beautiful. This one comes with gemstones, rose quartz, and you make 6. I think I've got some on the go.
Let's have a look, see what they look like.
This has been great timing, because I've had to make all the kits today, so it couldn't have been any better timing. But they're not finished yet, but they've all been made, and they're going to come. They'll come off the bezels, and yeah, I'm not sure what you can see, because I can hardly see myself.
We can see. Angelina's asking, can you use embossing powders
in your resin to colour them? You can do, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the thing with embossing powders is they get more brighter as they get hotter.
They'll change colour.
They'll change colour. But yeah, definitely. Has anybody else got any more questions? Well, we've got Lou for the next 15 minutes. Has anybody got any questions about resin? Because Elaine loves the Pink Moon kit.
I know it's been popular this week. It is beautiful, and it comes with little tiny little abalone chippings. Oh, It's so
Oh, how
pretty.
beautiful. But I mean,
So
what you could have a look on Lou's website. The website for Lou is going along the bottom at the minute. You may be thinking, oh, I've got some beautiful pink flowers, but none of my mica powders that I got in my kit are perfect for that. Lou's got lots of colours of mica powders and lots of different things that you can add in there as well. And it's not only just kits that you do the individual things as well, don't you? You
oh,
do
for sure.
yeah,
Shells, textures,
yeah,
stones.
there's lots of things. And on Lou's website, just along the top, it's dead easy. It says fill, learn, and all these, and they're all drop downs, so you can sort of like pick and choose what you want. Jill's asking, are the kits beginner friendly?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. Step by
Yeah,
step. So
yeah,
you get photos in there and instructions. So you can see hand shots, just like your Enchanted
yeah, like
Woodland.
yeah. Jill said, is it beginner friendly? The C one beginner
Oh, for
friendly?
sure. Absolutely. Yes. Lacing, to get lacing in your resin comes with practice, but you get all the tips in the kit to try and get it. It's something you learn, but with the instructions in the kit, you should have a good chance at carrying it off. It comes with practice, doesn't it? Beautiful.
Yeah,
We have to make a few to get going, but it's an absolute beginner's kit for sure.
yeah. And that, I mean, you could, if you've got other MDF shapes as well, you might want to have a little go on a piece that you're not sort of like precious about, and leave your beautiful rounds for then
Yeah.
having a go with that.
And you can
Angelina's
get
asking,
all
oh sorry,
those, you can get the MDF sheets from £1 on my website, from £2 upwards, all the MDFs.
it's this new craft isn't a, it's not wildly expensive. It's not like gemstones where your strand is £100 or something like that. You
Oh,
can
wow.
create beautiful pieces of jewelry or pieces of art with, it doesn't cost a fortune, does it? And
Yeah,
you're buying from another small business. Don't buy from, and please, for the love of all things holy, don't buy resin from the Far East. Please, just don't do it.
no, no.
Don't do it.
So
Buy it
if you're
from,
buying resin, you want to be able to get hold of the company easily if
yeah,
something goes wrong, and you want to be assured that it's non-toxic. In the UK, we
yeah,
have standards that we have to follow by law. Other countries don't have that. America and China, for example, don't have to follow the regulations. So they'll put non-toxic on their bottles, but that hasn't been through a process to get non-toxic. You can't do that here in the UK. So
yeah,
if you were to have an allergic reaction and you were worried, the company
yeah,
are easily accessible here in the UK, and you
yeah,
should be able to get all the data sheets quickly. So always
yeah,
check where you get your resins from.
yeah.
Angelina has asked, she's got 2-year-old resin. Is it okay to use? It will be okay to use, but the quality of the resin will have deteriorated. So we generally say 12 months from when it's been opened is a good time frame to use. Your resin would still cure. The hardener might look a little bit yellow because the UV stabilizers will have settled in it. But once it's mixed in and you add color to it, it would be fine. But using it as a clear resin to look through, like with flowers, I probably would say no.
Okay. Helen's asking, if you're doing a pour picture, can you do some colours in pigments and some with micas, or would it look strange?
No, it look beautiful mixing them up because they bounce off each other. So when
Yeah.
a mica powder, if you think of it as eyeshadow, it's shimmery. So when that's on a nice, beautiful, this is mica powder. So this is Paradise and this is plain pigment. So they bounce off each other just beautifully. You can see the shimmer and the reflection. And there's a place for using both together. Absolutely.
Lorraine's asking, is such a thing as too much when it comes to adding mica?
Yeah, absolutely. Any pigment that you add to resin can be too much. So I like to talk as in food because we always remember that, don't we? So if I had a pot this size of resin, I would add no more than a pea-sized amount of pigment. If you're buying your pigments, and when I say pigment, that could be the pots of pigment, which I'll show you in a minute, or the mica powders. They're both pigments. A colour is pigment.
Yeah.
It says on the side of the pots how much to add. Not that we ever measure, but if you put too much in, you upset the resin ratios.
Yeah.
So you might find that your piece cures with a tacky finish or a bendy finish if you've added too much. So we say generally around about a pea-sized amount of pigment in a pot that size. If I was mixing a paper cup, I might have a very generous pea-sized amount, or maybe a broad bean. So yeah.
Angelina says that her resin from 2 years ago hasn't been opened yet.
No, that's fine. I would use it with colours. I probably wouldn't use it for flowers.
Yeah, just put some colour in there and make it really nice and colourful.
Where's it from? Is it from Amazon?
I think it I think it would probably be the box that I did 2 years ago.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah. Lou knows that resin. Any other quick, because there is lots of different kinds of resin. Can you just quickly show us what you have, as in like different types of resin, or sort of like all your micas or your colours? I don't know if you can show us.
Do you want to have a look around my shop?
Yes, please. That's what I'm asking.
Politely. I probably can't turn the camera around, so I'll just do it on selfie mode, but I can't see very well. So you might have to tell me to go up or down, because you're this big on my screen. You're tiny.
Oh, no.
That's what happens when you're on a phone. So this is where the pigments start. So we've got gorgeous colours. So you get giant.
Lou, if you do want to change your camera around, if you go to your on the bottom where it's the settings, the little cog, you can then switch it from back camera to front camera to back camera. I'll just see if there we go. Perfect.
Okie dokie. Thank you. So we've got lots of colours up here. Oh, it's confusing me. It's a little bit delayed. So we've got all the pigments here. These are sort of, I like to think of them as acrylic paint colours. They're not acrylic paint. You can't paint on paper with them. They're only for resin, but they're block colours. So you get giant 60-gram jars, and there's all the colours. There's so many. We've got so many colours to choose from. But if you'd rather just stick with a collection, you can buy smaller jars, which you get 6 this size in comparison to the bigger jars.
And that would last you a long time, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And you get, there's all sorts of collections on the website. This is a new collection, Chasing Rainbows. And they all have inspiration cards tucked inside, the inspiration and why. This one's quite a special one. And it tells you what I think about when I was devising the colour and all my feelings around this palette. So this is the Rainbow collection, which is a great starting collection if you're new to resin, because you've got primary colours and secondary colours, so you can go on and make more colours with that one, which is great.
I was going to say, you can mix the two colours together, can't you, and create a whole new
Yeah, this is Wild Swimming. It looks back to front on your camera, doesn't it?
No, it's the right way round.
Oh, is it? It's for me, it's not the right way round. So this is Wild Swimming, and this is all your blues. You don't get the white in here, but you get all of the beautiful blue pigments, which you can use for beach art. So that's really popular, that one. And Wild Swimming is so called because I live in Bourton on the Water, and there's lots of rivers, and we go with the children. I go wild swimming with them, so that's why that's called that one. Grandad's Acres is after my granddad when I was super young, and there's a story in there about all that. But this is all your neutral colours, all your beiges and cream colours. So this is a very popular collection. So you can get all sorts of smaller collections which work out better if you're starting out as a newbie, and a collection is around about £30 for a collection,
but they will last you a long time. And
oh, for sure.
And once they're open, Lou, is there a shelf life on them once they're open, or are they quite good for a year or so?
Over a year, but if you are storing them in a really hot room or a really cold room, room temperature, normal temperatures like anything is a good idea. I'm running low on mica powder, I'm afraid, guys. I've had a sellout this week, but glitter and special effect glitter is super popular at the moment, and it's all to do with the seasons. UV powders are really popular at the moment, and colour changing pigments that change colour.
Wow.
These are all named after the 90s and 90s rave days. Let's get jiggy. cassette coral. They've all got names from when I was a bit of a party animal. We've got pigments that glow in the dark. Got lots of pigments here, which are glow in the dark ones that really, really are amazing. You can see all the pictures on the website and the YouTube as well. YouTube is where I put it all.
Yeah, I was going to say I watched a YouTube video of you. Or was it a behind the scenes of you doing
yes.
that? Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit of fun. Loads and loads of glitter, all the stones and shells and textures for making beach art. That's oyster shells. We've got all the shingle, the stones. I mean, I can go on for hours and hours.
It is a real treasure trove in there, but so is the website, and there is so much. But what I would suggest, and I don't know if you agree with this, Lou, is choose a genre that you want to do, either something like a piece of art or another piece of jewelry or one of the kits, and then you can sort of like buy just a collection of your pigments to then try it with the different colors. Do you know what I mean? So you don't sort of like get lost in everything. Just choose one sort of like piece that you want to make.
I have these tiny little collections which are tester size pigments and glitters, which are around £15. So you get 3 glitters and then 4 randomly selected pigments. They're all very different. They're just
amazing.
My teenage daughter said, "Mum, why have you not got samples for people? Like, they don't want big jars." So she puts together these ones. That's her pocket money for the month. So there are sample sets if you don't want to spend a bomb.
And they're on the website as well, aren't they?
Yeah, the Flourish paste has been the #1 seller this year. I'm out of stock on all of those, but there's so much. You could look for hours. And then there's all the moulds as well.
Yes, you've got lots of moulds on there as well. So yeah, on the website there's moulds, and so if you don't want to make in like a bezel, you want to make some of the bigger pieces.
Christmas
and I fell in love
have just come in.
Can you show us the pumpkin one?
Ooh, the pumpkin mould. Absolutely. I've got the mould. I don't think I've got one made.
See, you can have an amazing pumpkin jar for your whatever you want to put in there. I keep all my pens in my one, so I've got one with EcoPore as well, which we can talk about EcoPore another time, because maybe Lou would like to make us another kit in the future with EcoPore.
I can definitely do
that. This lady has so many strings to her bow. You could literally
it's never
with Lou forever. I've got a few more questions, Lou.
Okay.
Is there a time period we can store dried flowers for?
Yeah, so the general rule of thumb is to dry them and use them within 3 months. But if I put them in a Tupperware tub, and I've still got them on the shelf from last year, and they're fine, but some may vary. So there's certain flowers that can be a little bit problematic, particularly hydrangeas and lisianthus. They can be problematic, and they're a common flower in a wedding bouquet. But I would say use them within that year for sure. First 3 months, even better. But do remember that once their flowers cut from the stem, it isn't light fast. So we talk about things fading in sunshine. So if you're making a whole load of necklaces out of flowers to store in a shop, and the shop puts them in their shop window for 3 months, the flowers will alter. So I would always say to your customers or your friends that you're making for, keep your beautiful jewelry in the box to preserve the flower, because flowers, of course, will fade over time if they're not stored correctly.
Elaine's saying that she's good. She's just noticed that you're in Bourton on the Water, and she was only there at the weekend, and she needs another trip. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with Lou, and now Lou does get booked up because she's incredibly popular in the resin community for workshops, so she will get booked up very quick. So while it's on your mind, why not just send her a pad?
I can come to you. I can come to you as well. I do mobile as well. If if it's a big event, for example, I'll travel far if you need me to.
That's amazing. So yeah, send Lou. You've got a request thing on your website, don't you? Send us a message kind of thing, or go on to social media. That's it. Any of the social medias, and please join Lou on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock? 8
It
o'clock,
is.
isn't it?
It,
And
yeah,
Lou
it
does
is.
things like, if you've ever seen the tumblers, Lou's been doing tumblers. You've got a tumbler kit, haven't you, as well?
Yes, turn blooming magic.
There you go. So yeah, watch Lou, because it's always, you've just seen how much you've learned in the last hour. And if you've
Oh,
got the box, you know how much you've learned from Lou from doing the kit that we've just done. And
oh.
the Friday nights are full of fun, laughter. She's always got somebody with her in there, and they're always
Well,
chatting away.
there's three people that work here, and often they
Yeah,
do evenings because they're mums or they have another job. So
yeah,
I tend to try and get them here on a Friday night so that the community can see them as well.
yeah.
We're getting ready to launch the craft retreat, which is just a small gathering where the work
Mhm.
studios open up for 3 days and we do back-to-back crafting, but it's affordable crafting,
Wow.
so particularly important for me to give a little bit back to people. So the workshops are all around £20 to £30 each, and there's about 12 workshops over 3 days. And some people will come for one workshop or they'll come for all 3 days, and it's just a way of bringing the social community together, and it's been really
Yeah,
popular.
yeah.
So we're talking a lot about that at the moment. That and blooming advent calendars.
So yeah, please go and follow Lou on social media if you're not already.
Oh,
Join
thank
her on
you.
Friday night, and please go and look at her website, because it has got the most amazing things, and you know that everything has got that same love and passion behind it that Lou's just been speaking about with her
For
resin kit
sure.
and everything else. Nothing has been done. This is going to sound really crass, Lou, so please forgive me. Nothing's been done to make money. This has been done to make your crafting journey and your learning experience better. You've just heard Lou say that she's got little cards within those colour kits which sort of like tell a story and say why they're all being put together. She hasn't
Mm,
bundled them together because that's going to make her
no,
money. It's
I
nothing
think
to do with that.
I
It's to
think
do
it's
with the whole crafting.
because I'm a crafter too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm a practicing crafter, and if I want it, then I'll bring it for all of us.
Yeah, yeah. But as all crafters that have small businesses, we do need to earn some money as well. So
I know.
that has to be, that's sort of like the devil part of it. But
Oh,
the
for
good
sure.
part of it is that you're going to learn, and Lou is so giving with her information and with her
Oh,
knowledge.
thank you.
And after 15 years of doing it, there's not a resin that she's come across that she's gone, I'm not using that. So if Lou says not to use it, don't use it.
I won't. I will be
Basically.
honest. If there's something out there
Yeah,
that's not safe, then there's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
chance that I would
Don't.
be recommending it.
Yeah. So I'd just like to thank Lou so much for
Thank
doing this kit. It
you.
really, really is just been amazing. And it's just been so lovely for me to get back into resin, because I haven't done resin
Yay.
for about a year now. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's been a year, because do you know what it's like? You have to set it
I
all up, and I'm
do.
like, oh, I can't. And then
But
I've
I'm
just
like that
absolutely
too.
immersed.
I'm like that
Yeah,
sometimes too. You know, we get a creative block, and actually, my
yeah,
best advice when we have a creative block is to do something else for a little
yeah,
bit, zone
yeah,
out, and like you're doing your leather at the moment. It's
yeah,
so good for your head to just
yeah.
use different part of your brain, you know. So
And
always
you
have a
can,
little
and
break and don't beat yourself up about that, you know.
no, and everything that what I love about resin is, I'm just thinking, I've cut out some little shapes of leather. I don't have to put those into a leather piece. I can put them
Oh,
into resin.
you
And there's
could.
all sorts. So all these crafts cross over. I know
They do.
somebody that doesn't like seed beads and use seed beads in their resin and created the most amazing piece. And all they did
Wow.
was they poured their seed beads in and was like, ah, I can't be doing with these coloured seed beads. Put them in the resin, and they
And it looked
looked
great.
awesome. It was like a sweetie shop kind of style.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, so please don't let your box sit closed up. Open it up.
Yay.
Go
And
and
if
have a
you
look.
get
Go and have
stuck,
a play.
reach out.
Yeah, have a play with that resin kit, and I promise you, you may do the kit and go, I'm glad I've done that. I know that it's a beautiful kit, but I still love this craft, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
We're not trying to convert you. It's not a resin cult or anything like that. We just
Well, it
want to
might
show
be
you
a hidden
that
agenda.
but we just want to show you that there is so much more to crafting than just making jewelry with it. As Lou's just showing you those gorgeous kits of making those seascapes, and I for one know that that pink one is going in my basket as soon as I get off this live. I'm gonna go and buy
Oh,
that pink one because I just love it, and I might add a few extra bits in
if
there
I
as well.
am ever missing something on the website, it is always, if it's out of stock, it is always worth messaging me, because it's just that I've not got to the computer to put it in stock.
Back
So
in again, yeah.
sometimes if you're desperate for a colour, I've got it. I'm just slacking.
Because as a one lady band, you've got a lot of hats to keep juggling, and some days
know,
the
and it's
admin
the
days just sort
holidays.
of like go. Those admin days just keep getting pushed over.
I know. I really need to stop doing that.
But I best let you go because you've got those beautiful girls that need to go and have their mummy back.
Well, they'll
So
have
thank you
eaten me
ever
out
so
of
much.
house and home. They'll be eating everything in the cupboards. Let me tell you, I'm going to go back and they'll have polished everything off.
Everything off. Oh, my boys are the same. My boys are exactly the same. But yeah, thank you ever so much, Louie. Really
You're
has
so
been a
welcome,
world.
and
And
thank you,
you will be doing
everyone.
another kit for us, won't you?
Yeah, of
You will be
course. You
doing
tell me
another
what
one.
you want, and I'll devise a new
Yes.
kit for you.
There we go. We're going to get a new kit design for Relax and Craft because it really is the perfect combination. It really is. It was a collaboration that's always been waiting to happen because we've both got the same ethos behind it. Right. I'll end the live, Lou, and then I'll say goodbye to you after with the live's finished. But thank you ever so much. Everybody's saying goodbye to you. Everybody's saying thank you and goodbye. Bless them. Oh, love you. Thank you very much, everybody. And this will be on YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to watch it back, then you can do. If you are watching it on replay, just hashtag replay so we know. If you've got any questions, if you hashtag replay and then the question, I'll be able to see it because it'll come up as a new comment. But thank you very much. I'm going to try and elegantly end the live stream now, which never goes very well for me, Lou. So just hang fire there, Lou, and I'll see you in a second. Thanks, everybody. Bye.